what does it mean to love yourself? That's where I wanted to start today. What does it mean to love yourself? Like, have you ever thought about that? Have you ever answered the question to yourself? What does it mean to love yourself? What does that mean? How would it look? How would it feel? Do I love myself? Do I not love myself? Do I love myself? Have you thought about it? I think when I started thinking about this message, I thought about it because at the YMCA, the gym where we work out, often when we leave each other in the workout room or whatever, we say what? We say, take care. Take care. Somebody you don't know. Take care. Back at me. Take care. I'm thinking, oh, that's a really sweet thing to say to someone. Maybe it's not, delivered with that sweetness, but take care. And I thought, yeah, what does that mean? Take care. Take care of yourself. What does it mean to love yourself? And the first place I went with that as I was writing some notes for this lesson is because it goes to the physical place. Like, what do I do to take care of my body, right? What do I do? How do I eat? Do I exercise? Do I get enough movement in my life? Do I work enough, but do I rest enough? That kind of thing. How do I treat my body? How do I treat my body? Do I get my annual physical? Do I get my blood work done? Do I schedule a massage? Do I take care of myself? Do I take care of my body? Do I take the medications I need to balance myself? Do I take supplements? Do I use herbs? Do I use SPF 30? When I go out in the sun. All right, how do I take care? If we consciously choose, we can choose how to take care of our physical body. And I believe that is one way we love ourselves. And then I was thinking also another way we love ourselves is for our social well-being. In other words, our desire to be part of a community and to care for each other and to, there was 3 C's here, to have connection and community and creativity, like that kind of thing. So what do? We attend the theater, or we go to concerts and we listen to music, or we go to the movies, or we spend time in nature and take walks. We do those kinds of things. We have a hobby that we enjoy and we engage in that. We come to Crafters Corner, we come to Coffee and Conversation. We come and get together in groups to encourage ourselves, encourage connection, encourage community, encourage our own creativity, whether it's playing mahjong or whether it's showing up for pickleball. All right, we do these things and they contribute to our social well-being, even staying home and reading and listening or meditating. Those sorts of things we do to stay connected, to be creative, and those sorts of things. But there's another thing that I want to talk about more today, and that is and that's loving ourselves, right? That's loving ourselves in that way, treating ourselves that way. But what I want to talk about mostly today is how we love our beingness. Like, how do we love how and who we are? Not what we do to love ourselves, but how we love ourselves, our being nature. Like, how does that look? How does that look? And I think really what I'm talking about is that self-love of myself. Like, let me start here. Let me start here. To love yourself does not mean glossing over your imperfections, the breaks within your being, and the ways in which you want to change or heal or grow. All right? It's not that. Loving yourself is not that. It's not that. Because let me tell you, I am the first person to tell you I am imperfect. I am imperfect. I don't get it right all the time. And by that I mean I do not live up to my values that I know are true for me. I don't live up to them all the time. I don't live up to my highest thoughts of who I want to be in the world all the time. I just don't. I get discouraged, I fail, I do what Meg did and say, I flaked out this week. I flaked out. It happens. That's not who I want to be. And I know that. But here's the thing. So it's not about loving yourself when all that is fixed. It's loving yourself now in the midst of all of that, you see. In the midst of all of that. Because we don't have to wait for ourselves to be perfect, because we might be waiting a long time. I know I would be waiting a long time. I want to love myself today. And that's possible because I don't have to wait for all of that to be worked out. I don't have to wait for that. Here's the next part of this quote from the Pivot Year. Loving yourself means that you believe that you are capable of doing the healing that is coming forth from you. That you are strong enough to keep going. Not only to make it through another day or another week, but to leap in the direction of your desires. To know that you can trust your own steadiness, that you can endure your own storms, and that you can carry yourself through the rest of your life. That is loving yourself. To know, to believe, to leap in the direction of your desire, to trust, to endure, to carry yourself through the rest of your life, to believe that you deserve all that, even in the midst of all your imperfections. Maybe you have a short list. Mine is a little longer. In the midst of all that, to believe this about yourself, to be your biggest fan. Are you your biggest fan? Are you? I know sometimes I don't come across that way. But man, that's what it is to love yourself, to know that you can endure, not that you're perfect, to see that something's possible, to never lose the light that you are. That's what it is. Can you imagine? I mean, that's true love right there. That's true love. That's true self-love to me. That was powerful to me. You don't need to wait for all that. You need to be the one that gives yourself the second chance all the time. To love yourself, that's what it is. To love yourself exactly as you are. So, I want to tell you a story. About Brittany Newton. So, Brittany Newton is a young mother of 2 children. She was born and raised in Columbus County. She lives in Whiteville. She's a veteran. She served 8 years in the U.S. Army. And she got involved in an education program that was offered in Whiteville by a group called the Patriotic Millionaires. Notice your reaction to that. You know of them. The Patriotic Millionaires, their mission is this: tax the rich, pay the people, and spread the power. That's what they're about. That's what they're about. Tax the rich. They're these millionaires, actual millionaires, who realize that the way to lift us is to lift us all. You know, we saw a film, Renee and I did, at Django's Playhouse this week. It was a documentary called The Deciders. And the filmmaker filmed this interaction of this community with the Patriotic Millionaires and the education that they offered to people who are willing to show up. All right? Their offer was this: we'll show you how politicians from both parties rig the economy against you if you help us fix it. All right? They invited folks in. They set aside their differences, the social differences. They focused on these simple things. They focused on a movement to tax the rich, to raise the minimum wage, which, by the way, is still $7.25 in North Carolina since 2009, and to transform America's economy. So that's what they were there to do. Brittany Newton holds 3 jobs. She has 2 kids. She's an Army veteran. She found the time to show up here because she wanted to learn about this. She was curious about this. And in this town of 5,000 in rural Columbus County, single mothers, military veterans, and seniors showed up, and they're still showing up. And as a result of what she learned, I talked to Brittany briefly after the showing. She was at Django's this week. And one of the questions that was asked of her is, what really hit you about this education that you got from this? And she said it was this. She said, when I learned that I was paying a greater percentage of taxes on my income than Amazon ever paid, it got to me. It got to me. She said, I couldn't believe it. I didn't know that was what was happening. I didn't know. Fast forward a little bit, and Deb Butler, who is a representative in our NC House, a local representative, found this documentary, saw Brittany in the documentary, and gave her a call and said, Brittany, what about running for the House District 46 in Whiteville, in Columbus County? Brittany, mother of two, Army veteran, single mother, working 3 jobs. Brittany, how about that? When I asked her how she made that decision when I saw her this week, I said, what in the world? And she said, Paula, I prayed about it, I sat with it, and I decided yes. So here she is. No previous experience at all in politics. No time in her busy 2 and 3 jobs and 2 kids' life. And decides that yes, this is her path to go on. Now, I submit to you that Brittany Newton loves herself. She knows she is enduring as we speak. She is saying, I believe in me. If she didn't, she couldn't be doing this, is what I think. If she didn't love herself enough to know that this was the path that she could take, I think that is loving yourself. That is loving yourself. It's a lot of other things too, but I'm saying without the love for yourself and the belief in yourself and being a fan of yourself, no way. No way. No way. We looked at her followers on Instagram. She has 120. She's running against a man who has been in the NC House since 2017. His name is Brendan Jones. He is the majority leader in the House. That's her opposition.
Wow.
Right? If she didn't believe in herself, what in the world is she doing? Yes, she has the support because she's been working in her community. And yes, she has the support because Deb Butler said, yes, I'll be there for you. But she's got to have something in her. Because all the outside things are just outside things. I say she loves herself. And when I gave her a hug and then another hug this week, I could feel it. I could feel it. I could feel the doubt, and I could feel the scaredness that she has, but I could also feel the love that she has for herself and her children as well. The love that she carries for herself. The knowing that she can make it. Knowing that she can make it. I don't think you can make that choice unless you love yourself. Because what happens when you love yourself that way, when you are your biggest fan, is you walk around the world differently. The world is the same, but you walk around differently. And there's possibility, and I am part of that possibility. Right? That's loving yourself. That's loving yourself. There's another thing about love that I want to share. There's another quote in here, because this is part of the power of it as well. Listen to this. Love introduces the highest possible frequency into the equation. So when it's present, it's transformative. When love is present, it's transformative. When your self-love is present, it's transformative. First in you, transformative. Like a door cracking to expose a stream of light into an otherwise dark room, once love is present, fear begins to dissolve. It's exactly what I saw in her. She's not I'm not talking about ego. I'm talking about belief in myself. Belief in myself. The ability to endure. To know that I can carry myself through the rest of my life. That. If you need change, you need love. Because love itself will change whatever needs to be softened, lightened, and realigned. Love itself will do that. See, to me, this is talking more than just about the power of self-love. This is saying, if I keep a light in me, just that little bit, if I can keep that open, love itself shows up and does the work. And I say that's my word for God. Love itself, the divine, the cosmic pulse of life. Love itself shows up, and that, my friends, is what transforms the whole ball game. That is how the possibility that Brittany Newton will be House Rep in District 46 after this election is possible. That her opening in herself and my opening in myself allows the love that is love itself to do the work. That's the transformation. That's incredible to me that that's possible. And I know it's possible because love itself God itself, the divine itself, whatever your word is for that, will change whatever needs to be softened, lightened, and realigned. It will help me in that way. That. You have to believe, though. That's the work of self-love, is believing that that's possible. To believe that you are capable. To believe it. You might not have accomplished it yet. It's not about guaranteed. It's about believing you're capable. What did Mark say? Here's the words that I wrote down from this. The lyrics from the Worry Song. I know it's hard to believe that you can do anything you dream. He sang that today. Meg said in her poem, I invented the tizzies. They chased peace out the front door, but I chose them. I don't have to choose them. All right? I don't have to choose the tizzies. I can believe in myself. I can know that I can endure instead. And Mark also said, what's keeping me down? The voices are what keeps me down. The voices. Believing in yourself changes the voice. It changes the voice. You are capable. You are strong. You can leap into the direction of your desires. Is Brittany taking a leap? I mean, that's a leap. That's a leap. You've taken leaps before. That's your demonstration of loving yourself, and you can do it again. You can trust your own steadiness. Your own steadiness. You can endure your own storms. Now, this doesn't mean don't ask for help. Brittany needs some help. She needs some people knocking on doors and people giving her money and supporting her. But to know that I can endure this storm. To know that I can carry myself through all the rest of my life. Not alone, but that's possible. And the love in me then, just, there it is, love itself. I was inspired by Brittany Newton. I was inspired by the project. I was inspired to know that there are millionaires in the United States of America who recognize the truth that we talk about here. That the only way to raise up is to lift everybody up. Not to lift some and leave some, but to raise us all together. There are people who know that. And so those of us who are not in the millionaire status need to stop judging all the millionaires, by the way. To stop judging them as they're all this and they're all that. Here's a demonstration right here that they're not. There are people who recognize that lifting us all is what it's about. And they are putting boots to the ground in those words. Inspired. I'll invite you to search the film. It's called The Deciders. It's to look at the people who were inspired with knowledge and with education. That's another thing that really inspired me. Learn something, right? Learn something. Anyway, yes, self-love, physical self-love, social well-being, but really loving this as it is by believing in it. I encourage you to consider that in your meditation and in your quiet time. All right, let's do that right now. Mark, let's do a little meditation together just to get comfortable where you are and to take a deep breath in and another one out. Another deep breath in and out. And just sit for a little while. And answer the question for yourself. How do I love myself? Could I possibly believe that I deserve, that I'm strong, that I can endure, that I can live my life. Can I believe in me, in the gifts that I've been given, however they look, whatever they are, to believe in me as I am, in my imperfection. Let's just sit a little while. Sit a little while together. You are essential. The light you bring to the world is essential. I want you to love yourself, to believe in yourself, to know that you are strong, to know that you can endure, to know that, to be your biggest fan. Yes, ask for help. Yes, gather around those you love. Yes, and to know that the light you seek so often outside yourself resides in your very heart. To love yourself is to allow love itself to guide you, to direct you, to encourage you, to be there with you, so that you are never alone. Love yourself, your whole self. Yes, and amen.